Hey everybody, it's Alex wrapping up the year here, so I wanted to give a business update. What things have looked like recently, and then this is Alex. Alright, sorry about that. That was somebody I cold called yesterday. Sometimes I do get a call back. I don't leave messages just so I can get through as many calls as possible faster, but some people do call back, so it's kind of an awkward situation asking them what I was calling about, right? But yeah, just want to give a quick business update as we're wrapping up the year here. All the things I'm doing, some of the things I've found are working, and then what I'm looking like into next year. At the end of the week here, I'm going to set all the goals for next year and the next quarter, what that looks like, what marketing we're going to decide on and stick to. But for now, I've just been cold calling and sending postcards and keeping in touch with people in my network and following up with all the old previous leads and stuff like that. So the cold calling is just as hard as it ever was. It's not any more fun than it ever was. It gets easier the more you do it, but it doesn't get any more fun for me. It's a very, very tasking marketing tactic to do. Having those conversations, having so many people say no, so many people not even pick up the phone. It's a hard thing to do, to cold call. But I'm continuing to do it because it's a free marketing service, right? All it takes is having a phone and a list of some phone numbers. So when I cold call, I still get about 10% of the numbers I'm calling that pick up the phone. So if I call, 150 people in a dialing session, I'll maybe talk to 10 or 15 people. And from that, I have been able to get some leads. They're very cold leads usually, right? Like, sure, I'll take an offer in the house. What's your offer? Or, no, I haven't really thought about it, but maybe in the future. Those are some of the leads I'm getting from cold calls, but every once in a while a good lead does come from it, and it'll be interesting to see if that can prove success as still a marketing tactic that works. I'm still sending out postcards too. I've sent a list of maybe 1,800 postcards to people. I haven't got any calls on it yet. I think half of the mailers have hit and the other half are yet to hit. So we'll see if any deals come from that or any leads come from that. Usually we had a very low response rate, maybe just 1% or lower. But if you send 1,000, that's still 10 people calling you, and out of those 10 leads, you could get a deal out of that. So that's what we've been doing so far. I actually also turned on Google pay-per-click, Google AdWords, set up a couple campaigns previous to the ones we had years ago. So I set one for the whole state of Michigan and then one for Kent County and Ottawa County. The way I learned Google was that the more you restrict it, the more it's going to cost per click and per conversion or lead. So I'm opening it up to the whole state because hopefully I will still get leads in Kent County and Ottawa County. But just this week, I turned it on last week, and just this week we had a couple clicks and we had a conversion from somebody out in West Bloomfield on the east side of the state. Thankfully, I was able to put that property under contract, and now it's my job to go find buyers for that property. So we're actively working on that one. Totally interesting how it's still possible to do this virtually. That wasn't what I was hoping would happen, but it's awesome to see what can still come from Google AdWords. So I set a budget on there of just a few bucks per day that will hopefully get clicks and get leads. But yeah, I set up the campaign previous to what we had before. I went through a training to make all the right clicks, click all the right buttons, turn on and turn off all the right settings. But that's something I'll keep you updated on if it's working or not. But those are our 3 marketing tactics right now: cold calling, postcards, and then Google Ads. I would love for postcards and Google Ads to work the most so that I don't have to keep cold calling people. But I thought it's a great character building activity. It keeps me on the phone. If I don't have anything else to do in the afternoon, that's a great activity. Other things pop up when you're taking good action on stuff. So yeah, hopefully I could be done with cold calling soon, but if it's something you're looking to do as you're just starting and you don't want to put any money into this, that is absolutely, I think, the way to do it. You can also send texts. I haven't had great success with that. I sent out a bunch of texts from my phone, and I ended up getting my iMessage turned off. I got flagged for spam, so gonna back off on sending texts from my phone and try to find a CRM or a different service to send out mass texts. I know there's lots of rules and regulations behind that. Yeah, definitely be careful about texting. There's lots of rules and regulations about it. swim at your own risk, right? But just be careful. They might turn off your iMessage, and that really sucked. So those are the marketing tactics I'm using. Here locally, I've closed 2 transactions, but they haven't been directly from the marketing I was doing, right? The first one was somebody who just saw a YouTube video, right? Reached out to me, saw that I was going local. And then the other one was a previous seller I'd worked with in the past, Isaiah. So it's interesting that the 2 that have happened were not from these marketing efforts at all. So it's tough to know if these marketing efforts are really working or not. I know some leads are coming in, but it'll be interesting if I can actually close a deal from these marketing efforts. That's where we're at right now. We've got a few in the pipeline that are working, but we'll see if this marketing really works. Going into next year, I've got some goals set up, and I'm pretty clear on what needs to be done, right? I already know a lot about this business. I know what to do. It's just time to actually hit the dirt and go do it. So that's primarily what I'm looking at going into next year. Next year is to just go do it, up the marketing spend, up the action, go meet with a lot of sellers, go talk with a lot of sellers, and continue down the path. God's given me a lot of clarity that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm just excited and anticipating what's next, and I'm really excited to dive more into that, and I'll keep you guys updated on goals for next year and what the plan looks like next year. Currently, I've got 8 properties under contract. 6 of those are land deals. One was from cold calling back in June that we've had under contract for a long time. I've chatted about this one before. I hope I can make a video about that deal story if it ends up getting closed someday. But that one's out in Alabama. And then we've got other land deals, 5 other ones that are in North Carolina, Arkansas, and Florida from sending postcards out. So my hands are off when it comes to the dispo of those properties. That is on my partners that I'm working with. But I've been staying in touch with the sellers on all 6 of those and just trying to push them forward to the closing table. And we have 2 under contract here locally. One is from somebody in my network to see if I could find a buyer for. And then the other one is the one out in West Bloomfield from the Google ads. So nothing else locally under contract. That's the main thing I'm focused on to wrap up this year, is getting more properties under contract, seeing if I can put something together before the end of the year, but really setting things up now and taking the action now so we can have a strong start to 2026. Last thing I'll leave you with and encourage you on is I'm taking all these efforts, right, and taking all this action, getting some results, but I ultimately have been trying to commit to and implement prayer very heavily in my life and in this business. I can only do so much on my own, right? And I truly believe that if I partner with God in this and positive people around me who will encourage me to do that same thing, the results can be exponential from there. It's ultimately up to God if He's going to bring the results or not, and I have a lot of clarity and peace in that. But when I pray about it and when I bring it to the Lord and give Him the day after He's given me another opportunity each day to get after it, if I commit that back to the Lord and say, Lord, not my will, but yours be done. I really want to help people in this business, and you know I want to get out of debt, and you know I want to accomplish these goals, but if it be your will, right? If I continue to pray that and ask for that to happen with thanksgiving, with obedience, that's something that I'm trying out. I've been trying to learn more about how my prayers should look. Usually I just go to God as, a father or a brother or a friend and talk to Him in that way. But maybe there's some things I can implement better into my prayers, like gratitude, admitting and asking forgiveness for some of my sins, known and unknown, and just being very present with the Lord. I've seen prayer work in my life. I've seen prayer work for me when others were praying for me, and it's such a powerful thing. I encourage you to at least try that, right? What's the hurt in trying to pray? Ultimately, I believe God really loves us. He just wants a relationship with us. He wants us to love Him back and have a relationship with Him. He loved us enough to even send His Son to die for us, even though we didn't deserve it at all. So that's a whole lot of grace. That's a whole lot of love. I think He's just wanting us to love Him back and go into Him in prayer. All right, I'll end with that. If I can pray for you at all, please reach out. Good, bad, whatever. I'm happy to pray with you, pray for you. Ultimately, I just pray that the Lord's will be done and that we find peace in that. All right, God bless everybody. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.